Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me, my name's Dave. I've got about 5 or 6 topics in the can that I have filmed over the last couple of days. And each one of it of itself isn't really a complete video. So I'm going to combine them and just kind of give you a recap of what I've been up to the last 5 or 6 days. It has been rainy. We needed the rain. We certainly got a good soak. Today is Super Bowl Sunday, to give you a little reference, and y'all down here in the southeast know the storms that have been coming through. But we're over here at Brad Fortner's shop, and Brad is Austin's dad. You've seen Austin on the channel a whole lot, and a little later I'm going to show you a project that Doug is involved with, and Doug is Jason's dad. And so we'll show you that here in a little bit. Come along and get caught up on what I've been up to last week or so. All right. This here's my old Jeep. I bought this for $1,000 or something. I don't know, probably 6 years ago or so. It was white, and I had it painted this color. It was going to be a beach Jeep down in Florida, just to be riding around. You know, not off-roading really, just cruising the beaches and stuff. It's been sitting up here in the weather, so I got to do a little bit of renovation, and Brad's helping me work on it. And one of the things I'm going to do today while I'm here is I'm going to take these bumpers off. I have not established my wood shop up here yet, but I got a real nice wood shop down in Florida, so I'm going to renovate these bumpers, which are solid teak. They're really nice, and they're still good. There's good meat in there. What we also did was we put a teak dashboard in here, and my buddy Warren turned those knobs for me. They're solid teak. Hello everybody, we're over at Mr. Brad Fortner's shop, commonly known around here as Papa Brad's shop, I think. But this is the Fortners and this is the Scallions, and as you'll see later today in the video, we got a video series going on with a portable shoot house for hunting that the Scallions are building. And you've seen Jason here just recently on the harness and hoist video where he set him up a shooting thing. We got a lot of views on that, and we've got people that have been viewing it a long time, and the comments were, well, I just kind of hanging on to see if someone fell off that thing. But and Mr. Brad here is helping me on the Jeep, which I'll roll in some pictures of the Jeep over there, my Florida beach Jeep, which it's
a woods Jeep now.
Now, yeah, hey, Brad's talking me into turning it into a woods Jeep. We might have to put a winch on it, and maybe what else will we have to work on? Suspension, maybe some tires,
yeah,
or
some tires. I don't believe the beach tires is going to work.
No, those are road tires. That's no doubt about it. But I like the wheels. I mean, the wheels came on it. They look pretty good. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. If you don't know me, my name is Dave, and the channel is Bamaland 300, and often use the term "and all that comes with it." And what I'm referring to is stuff like this project we got going on here. This is Doug. Y'all all met Jason before in the harness and hoist video, and we're at their house now, and the project that they got going, I'm going to spin this around for a second, is an old trailer that is going to be turned into a mobile shoot house for hunting. And it's a great way to use an old trailer, and Doug's going to tell us kind of the big picture about what all's going on here. Now, Doug, I did notice that, is this a steerable front?
It is a steerable front. It's a wagon. It's an old wagon. Old hay wagon.
Okay. There we
About
go.
60 years old.
60 years old on this old gal.
Been sitting in the woods.
All right. Well, all right, Doug, give us the 30,000 foot overview.
Well, back here in the back, we're gonna put some batteries and hook solar panel to it so we can have lights, heat, electric coffee pot to make hot water, and just generally anything you want to run off power.
There you go.
The windows are gonna face this way.
Okay.
We're gonna put about 4 of them in it. The centers are gonna be 16-inch on the floor joist, 16 inches on center, insulated with wood on the bottom, insulation, then wood on top.
There you go.
Side walls will be same. Outside will be treated plywood, then you'll have insulation, and then the inside will be plywood. We're gonna build the roof basically the same way.
So is it going to be a pitched roof, or is it going to be shed style?
2x6 like this, but it's gonna be a 2x8. Gonna come up 2 inches here, go to the other side, and come up 2 inches, pop a chalk line and strip it, and that'll be my rafter.
So shed style
Shed
roof.
style.
Okay, good. Well, that's fine. Easiest.
We're gonna grind it down, get the rust off of it.
And so once it's built, you'll be able to move it wherever you want to. Your property, my property, Mike's property, whoever property allow you to put it there.
Be able to pull it with the tractor. Got a hitch for the tractor. Old style pin hitch.
Okay. So you're not going to hook it up to the truck and try to drive it many miles.
No.
It's mainly for.
It'll stay around here.
Okay.
Gonna have a place up front where eventually I can put an extra long twin bed if we want to take a nap.
Well, there you go. Yeah, because you can go 2 or 3 in the morning and take a nap and wake up 30 minutes before sun up, right?
That's correct.
Isn't that a hunting rule? You can't hunt at night, right? You got to be.
At night, but a lot of people want to go sit all day long. I would have liked to sit all day long. I've done it, but you got to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So this will make it comfortable. I'm gonna get. There's a discount furniture place. I'm gonna go up there and see if I can find some discount chairs
Sure.
that would be nice and comfortable. Maybe put a small 12, 14, 16, 24-inch TV with a little set of antenna, so you'll have a little entertainment during the day.
Yeah. Well, I know at my place, at certain spots, you get 5G internet, so you could stream with an iPad.
Screen with iPad.
Yeah.
So, and it's going to be this color here, this greenish color, army green I call it, OD green.
Yeah. The other thing you do with that is have your ear protection if you're wearing, unless you have suppressed rifle. Your ear protection can Bluetooth to your iPad, so you're not making any noise.
Well, the TVs I'm thinking about putting in it will have a Bluetooth capability too.
Working on some electrical projects here. I did a video about my new Delta Pro Ultra, and we've got that installed. And Avery's over there getting some wiring done in the shed. I had talked about wiring the shed up and then using the Delta Pro Ultra to power that just by moving it over there and doing that. Well, we decided to go ahead and run a circuit, a 50 amp circuit from the house, which is going to be on the smart panel too, so it'll have battery backup and solar power eventually. We're going to go ahead and run that wire. Now we're going to do the wiring in the house today. We're supposed to get a little bit of rain. We're probably not going to do that dig until a different time, but let me take you inside the house and show you a little bit about what we've been up to in there. All right, and for those of you that are new, it's called Bamaland 300 because we have 300 acres. We're on the 25 acres right now at my son's house that I live in. His family's moved back down to Florida, and we have 280 acres about a half mile down the road. But in an effort to get energy independent, I bought the Delta Pro Ultra with the Smart Panel 2. and I like the way the installation went. I got to get some wood trim to trim it out just a little bit, and so it's really cool. This isn't a video about the Delta Pro Ultra, just my use case and what we're doing to take this cabin size property and make it energy independent. And what we're doing today is powering the shed outside. And I've talked about that a little bit before. Let's go see what Avery's up to, wiring up the shed. All right, we're here in the shed, and this is Avery. He's got the sub panel we're going to put in. That's going to be fed by a 50 amp breaker from the house, and it will be on the smart panel too, so it'll have backup, and then ultimately after I get the solar panels, it'll have the uninterrupted power supply. But we got to fashion some woodwork over here. Go over there, Avery, and let's show them what we're doing. Eventually I'm going to have to kind of screed this whole place out, but I got to fashion. I'm trying to do this. Hold that light. You know that light? I got to fashion a 2x4 to run this length, and then a sheet of plywood that's going to attach to that piece of steel, and then the 2x4 right here, and then this is going to mount on the plywood. Don't you think that'll be good?
I think it's gonna work out good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get to work on the woodworking part of it.
All right.
And Avery's still running wires. That turned out real nice with the box there. Eventually be an overhead light there. And yeah, you got this one done too. Up there. Can you see it? Yeah. So right initially, before I even get it all finished, I'll have 2 overhead lights. I'll have a switch there and an outlet there, and that'll be just perfect. So let me set the camera up and show you what I'm doing with the woodwork. Alright, so here's what I got to do. This is the lumber that I cut on my Logosol chainsaw mill. Cut that almost 2 years ago, so it's been sitting out in here. It's plenty dry. However, I need to cut that 2x4 down. I need a piece 36 7/16 long. The thickness doesn't matter, but the width needs to be 2 and 7. I'm gonna have to go measure that again. I think it's 2 7/8 is what it. Yeah, 2 7/8. I remember. So 36 7/16, and then rip it down 2 7/8. And since it's all weathered and everything, I've got the planer, DeWalt planer. You'll learn that I'm a DeWalt fanboy. Really invested to the DeWalt stuff. So I'm just gonna set this up and let it run. I'll edit it down, speed it up, so you guys don't have to watch everything. The other thing I want to point out, can you see that? You learn to be resourceful when you're out here. There's a piece of plywood my neighbor had sitting around in her burn pile. It's probably a little damp, but it's not delaminated or anything. That's pretty cool. And then, as I said a minute ago, I've got this banding. Now, it's, you know, spring steel or whatever they call it, but what I need is some L brackets. I'm going to mount that 2x4 from the bottom through the steel, from the top through the steel, and then everything else in there, the uprights are fastened with a little L bracket. Now, I got some angle iron over there, but it's all rusty and probably a little too thick. So I think if I cut this about yay long, you know, 3 inches, and put a tight bend in it, that'll be fine. Be easy to drill through, and then I can put L brackets on the 2x4. Think it's a good idea? I do. Okay, let's go. That's really pretty flat. I mean, pretty straight. Just gonna take a little bit off, make it a little nicer to work with. Two and 7/8 wide. 2 7/8 wide. I'm gonna go measure twice. I'll be right back. Woo! Needs a little help. All right, that'll work. Okay, now to the metal work. You know, I really got a better vice grip tool for bending this down there in the shed, in the container. And I could fuss with bending this. Just cut it off. So I don't have a bench vise up here yet. That'll be here sooner or later. I got the vice grips that's got the big flat jaw for bending metal down there. I'm probably gonna have to go get that, drill it in. I don't know. That'll work. Now, 3 more times. All right, that'll work. All right, I'm gonna use these for going through the L brackets, because when I go down, these are metal self-tapping, so when I go down into the steel, I'll use these, and then when I go into the 2x4, I'll use some coated wood screws. All right, let's clamp these up and pre-drill them. Yep, that'll work just fine. All right, let me go talk to Avery. That'll do. Check for square 45 1/4. and 3/16, 16th off. That's better. That's more gooder. See if that messed that up at all. They were pretty wobbly cuts. All at 45 1/8. 45 1/8. I like it. See if we can't clean that up a little bit. All right, I'm ready. All right. I'm gonna carry that. Yeah. And I'm gonna double check my spacing because I need to go here to the front of this, right? Yeah. And I got, so I ended up with 24 and a half. So if it's going to here, it's 24 and a half. What is that? That's 2. So cut 2, 22 and a half. Everybody, back here with Austin. Y'all seen Austin before in the Bobcat video, but this went into the shop for a mysterious problem. In the process, they opened up the head and adjusted some valves, and somehow didn't get the gasket back in right. We developed a leak. So Austin, what did you end up doing here?
Change this old valve cover gasket. Here's the old one right here. It was cracked.
Yeah, that was, let's see, can get you in frame.
So it's sitting in there like, yeah.
Right. Is that how it was?
Yeah, because that's where the spark plug goes right there.
Huh. Nevertheless, it was shooting oil really bad and right up in here. But in case anybody else needs to do this to the Polaris 570 engines or whatnot, what exactly did you? Well, first off, took the seat off, and then the air breather had to come off so we could get to it.
I just moved this panel right here, be a little bit easier to get in there, and took in 3 bolts out, pulled that plug wire off, and then the valve cover come off.
Did you take this off and then put it back?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I have a supply of those little plastic rivets in the tool. So
Pull your plug wire and take in 3 bolts out.
So you got one here, one here, and one here.
Yes, sir. It's just old torque bit.
Yep, and then put a brand new one of these in.
Yes, sir. Make sure that snaps down in.
Right
all
there.
The seats all the way over here on these little adjusters over here, and put it back together. Tighten it back down and put the plug wire on.
All right, well, let's fire her up. Make sure she doesn't leak.
Just burn all that hose and get that on there.
Yeah, it makes sense. Well, there's plenty of it, I can tell you that.
Oh yeah, that heat shield's plain full down in there. It's gonna smoke for a little bit, but
All right, well, we can just leave it running then, and I'll be back in action. This is definitely a one of the most valued tools for me.
yes.
You know, just getting around back and forth to where my tools are, taking the trash out. We just got done cutting with the Bobcat, I did, and So when you do that, you'll find long logs and sometimes some rocks. And so I'll hook up the trailer and just kind of drive around, police the property, and pick up some of those. There's a stack you can see over there of some great cedar logs, because they're so rock resistant. They make great poles for various reasons and whatnot. So I definitely try to collect those up. And then obviously my big old pile of rocks right here that I'm gonna do something with someday. Well, Mr. Austin, man, thank you very much.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna say bye for now.
See ya.
So after much consideration, with all the projects that I have to do now that the ATV's up and running and the Bobcat's got its new air filters, think I'm gonna start cleaning up the big granddaddy gum tree that fell down. We got the grapple here for the tractor. Admittedly, the grapple on the Bobcat would do better. But I'm thinking that's the next project. We're back at the homestead, and I want to show you something on some projects that we got coming up for this spring. And let me, I'll switch to the Pocket 3 and show you something here. Doesn't this house just scream of a rear deck back here? That is definitely something that's going to happen this year. And I've also talked about Mrs. Bama Land coming up here, and I need a little bit more room. So I think an outdoor living space right there would be excellent. I've thought about extending the house or putting a, an extra room undercover in there. But I think the first thing to do is to build the deck and build it sturdy enough that if I ever do want to open the house up to either extend the bedroom or the kitchen area over there. But I also talked about this building over here. I have my desk and, all my clutter around my desk, and I sit right by that door. And I don't want to ruin the view. If I put an extension on here, it would block the view of the topic of today's video, is really making that a park-like setting. We're going to walk down there in just a minute and I'll show you, but you can see the view from the house and where the deck would be. If you had a big deck here, you got a beautiful view of the hill down to the creek all the way along, and then ultimately over here where the natural spring is and what is very beautiful over there. And I don't really want to block it with an extension on the house right here, which is where the bedroom is, to block all that. So let's walk down there and I'll show you some of my ideas for the down in the holla. So rumor has it, not rumor, but what the locals have told us is that house up over there and some other resident, like 50 to 100 years ago, before they had running water out here from the county, this was their water source. Some people even suggested there was some moonshine activity going on down here. Can you see that covered up right there? That's got a big culvert pipe or something, standing up around the spring. And I don't really have a gallon count yet, but evidently that supported 2 families back in the day. All right, walk down here by the spring, and I'm going to leave this camera rolling and probably zoom you in a little bit, and then I'm going to walk down there with the Pocket 3 and get you some close-ups of some stuff. So let me zoom this in. Okay, let's go for a walk. This is just absolutely gorgeous. There's also a little water that weeps out of the side of the hill right here, and there's the main spring, and then it comes out and follows along there, picks up the big creek and goes all the way down that side of the property. And these 2 hills here are what I've been mowing with the skid pro mower on the Bobcat to clean it up. But let's walk over here and take a look at the spring. Isn't that just a granddaddy master looking big old tree there? I love that root detail. A lot of times there'll be a frog that jumps out of here. Yeah, there he was. Did you see him? There's one swimming in there. but that is crystal clear. Haven't tested it yet. That looked like a crawdad down in there. I know you're getting the reflection, but so what do you think? My idea is we have this kind of real slushy area right here, and I've got all that gravel out at the 280 acres, and right here I'm thinking if I get the excavator down here and maybe some handwork, if I dig this down just a little bit and then bring in a bunch of gravel and put it in the bottom here, I'd probably have to start with some larger rocks or something, because I don't know if the gravel would just sink and I would lose it. I mean, that's quite possible, but that's what I was thinking. And then this big tree that's down has been here since Mike bought the property. I don't know, should it stay or should it go? I mean, it's not a bad feature. I don't know what kind of tree it is, but there, you can see some red in there. I don't know if a cedar got this big or not around here. But look, there's an old tire. But can you imagine this all cleaned up? Even maybe build some benches down here. And you got this feature. Almost like a cavern, you know? And then you have that huge tree growing up out of there. But I would clean all this scraggly stuff up so that you can walk in through here. And then, you know, it's the dormant time. So from the house in the summertime, you can't see too far up this hill because all the trees have their leaves on them and stuff, but you can see about where I'm standing from the house, given that all that little stuff's cleaned up. You know, you could bring your sandwich down here, listen to the spring. If I did that with the gravel all around there, I would build up around that culvert piece and build up some rocks around it so you kind of couldn't see that culvert piece. Maybe, I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I mean, that cover's there for a reason, so I'm not sure, but can you imagine all that floor being cleaned up? Leaving the good sound trees, you know, for future growth, but cleaning up all the little stuff underneath them. Years ago, they used this area for trash, or some trash. There's an old tire. Let me walk over here. See all this old fencing? There's a bunch of rolls of barbed wire, some old 55-gallon cans, drums, a few more tires down in there too. But the bobcat with the grapple come down here and grab all this stuff. I doubt there's anything salvageable. That barbed wire is pretty rusty. I see one roll that's not too rusty. Looks like some critter probably made a home down there. See that? Get my shadow out of the way. But this is beautiful. There's another critter home. That's gonna be pretty cool, isn't it? Just amazing. Well, all right, that's going to about wrap this one up. This is going to be a great project. I'm really excited about it. Got to get that tree cleaned up. And tell me what you think about that gravel idea. That's real mushy right down there. But if I can clear out some muck and put a big gravel bed down in there, will I lose the gravel? Will it sink in? I've got plenty of other bigger rocks I can put down there first, and then put the pea gravel on top. I'd like to have, you know, about a foot of water that's crystal clear that you can see the bottom, that covers 150 square feet, you know, little tide pool. I don't know what you'd call it, but I think that would be cool. Well, folks, thanks for watching until the end. I intend on making videos about 8 to 15 minutes long, and I just really didn't think that any of the footage I had I could make decent, shorter videos out of, so I decided to make this channel update, and I've got some footage ready to be edited on the removal of the big gum tree that you see here in this drone shot. Those should be much shorter, and it'll be 3 to 4 videos, I think, to wrap all that up. Meanwhile, we continue to work during the day on new stuff, and so bear with me. I'm just getting my feet under me and learning how to do this YouTube thing, so if you like this kind of content, hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.